Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lanier National Speedway. Tonight, the AMA Super Late Model Series, right here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, a partner of RaceOnTexas.com. Going to take 150 laps here around this little Lanier 0.38 of a mile track. I'm your host tonight here for this event. I'm Roger Muth. Alongside of me is my co-host tonight, Danny Valenzuela. Danny, a small little short track here tonight for a lot of drivers here in our lobby.
Yeah, this is the most drivers we've seen with this series recently, and on a track this small, it's going to make things interesting. A lot of going to have to be a lot of give and take for these guys to make it clean around the track.
Yeah, you talk about a lot of give and take for these drivers with it being a short track and a lot of drivers not knowing each other. Let's take a quick second here to talk about our point standings that we have for the year. Right here for the American Motorsports Association Super Late Model Series. Fred Monroe not here in attendance that I've seen yet on track. He leads the point standings here, 21 points ahead of Russell Brown Jr., who I do see out there on the track tonight. In third place in your points going to be the number, well, not number, but I'm going to say Donald Clark is out here tonight. He sits only 23 points back. Two teammates running second and third here in the points, and then you find Cade Green, who sits just 62 points back. And then it's a huge jump till you find Ray Suggs back in your fifth position. He has 137 points here. Cullen Allman, that we saw a couple weeks ago, win a race here on the Full Velocity Network for the AMA guys. He sits in your sixth position. How about Will Dravicki, who's here in attendance tonight, sits seventh in your point standings. Tyler Hilton also runs in your eighth spot for your point standings. Charles Bogg is ninth and sitting in your 10th position. That's going to be David Kirkran. So Danny at the top of this point standings with Fred Monroe not being here and only having a 21-point lead over Russell Brown Jr. The points gap tonight could change.
Yeah, I could definitely shake things up without having the points leader here. And, you know, these guys I'm sure are well aware of that and how it's we're coming to the end of the season as they try and scramble for every last point they can get.
Yeah, you talk about just a handful of races left here tonight. We're at Lanier National Speedway. Then we're going to head over to Bristol Motor Speedway next week here. Then we have an off week real quick. And then we head over to Lucas Oil Speedway to round out the season. They do have a makeup race here for this league. It's South Boston. Unfortunately, we will not be able to bring you South Boston live, but we will give you all the, the rundown of that one when that does happen. I believe that's coming on a Monday night. But tonight, a handful of drivers. I'm counting, Danny, well over 30 drivers logged into the lobby, but with only a minute and 45 here, we're going to step away real quick before this qualifying session pops off, and we will get your national anthem played, and we will be right back here on the Full Velocity Racing Network to bring you all the live qualifying action here from Lanier.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, race fans, here to Lanier International. One car out there on track right now, going to be that 35 here. Trying to make his first qualifying attempt here. That is Felix Gratton in the 35 machine, trying to make his first attempt here for the AMA series, and he finds himself into the outside wall, though. 97 here of Brandon Kessel, though, does find himself putting down the third quickest lap here on his first timed lap on track. He is not able to better himself on his second lap, as it looks like we have a lot of new drivers out here. Talking about new drivers, Danny, the 27 here of Patrick Thomas lays down a quick lap as he goes now second, as he gets a little bit of a bump there from the 09.
It's always exciting to see new guys out here shake things up a little bit and, you know, give the guys that are used to running together something new to think about.
Another one of the drivers that are new out here, the number 34 here, Mike Rhino. He goes to the top of the board. You see him a little slide coming off the turn there, but right now he's slotted in P1 with a 13.069 there for Mike Rhino in that 34 machine. A lot of drivers here tonight in this lobby for this event. We're going to see how many actually grid up. A little bit larger field than we're used to seeing here for the AMA boys. The AMA guys right here do have a little bit of a tire strategy rule for this league here tonight. So we're going to see how that implements. Let's take a quick look as we're in qualifying here. 11 drivers have made a qualifying attempt, and right there you see that 51 there of Donna Rakucci making her timed lap there in that 51 Monster Energy car. She goes 6th quickest on the board. No other driver out there on track right now. So let's take a quick look here at our pre-race information. Looks like the air temp here tonight is 82 degrees. Track temp is a cool 89. That's actually down from what we saw here in the practice session, as it was well over 100 degrees. We're doing 150 laps here from Lanier. That actually is going to equal out to 73 miles. Tire window, Danny, tonight. No tires for these gentlemen. Fuel window, throw that out the window. You will not need fuel here tonight. Pit road speed, if you would happen to have to come down, which could spell catastrophic failure tonight, would be 30 miles an hour here from Lanier National Speedway.
That's a weird pit row here. You end up doing basically a full lap around the infield to get in and out of your pit stall. Like you say, having to come down, that could put you several laps down real quick.
And looking with just about a minute and 35 seconds left here in qualifying, it looks like maybe a half the field has taken a qualifying time here. Looks like Bill Cooley is the last driver who has put in a qualifying time, and he goes 12th quickest. We missed his time out there on track. Right now, Mike Rhino does hold down that top spot. And that's pretty much with the short track field tonight. That's where you want to start out at. Looks like one driver out there on track, going to be the 24 here of Ryan Blanchard, as he brings that machine up. There's also another driver that just decided to join onto the track. That's going to be the 30 here of Wilger Vicky. Looks like Ryan, though, in that 24 does go 3rd quickest on his qualifying attempt, so a good qualifying attempt there for him. It's going to start him towards the front of this field tonight. Let's see where Wilger Vicky's able to come off turn number 4 as he crosses the start-finish line here. Let's see where Wilger Vicky, he goes straight to the top of the board. He's the only driver to venture into the 12-second bracket. He goes 12.999 on the speed charts. And James Milbacher takes that number 61 machine, and he goes 2nd quickest on the speed charts. He goes with a 13.021 seconds. So 2 fast times back-to-back going late here in qualifying. So 15 drivers have now put in a qualifying attempt. Just getting a little confirmation, Danny, over the race comms. Anybody who causes more than 3 incidents here tonight could be subject to removal from this race session. As you see, the qualifying has now come to an end. You see the lights kind of, well, not the lights, but the sun has started to go down here tonight.
That's going to be something drivers are going to have to pay attention to. As the track temperature drops, that grip level is going to change. What you can do with the car is going to change up a little bit. And, you know, places you were comfortable running before, you might be able to take it in a little bit deeper.
The question, though, is on these on the no tire rule here tonight, how far are you going to be able to take it into the corner without pushing the envelope just a little bit too far? Waiting for a lot of these guys to grid up. They got about a minute here before we take the pace lap here tonight from Lanier. Danny, what are you expecting from this short little 0.38 of a mile tonight?
I'm expecting to see lots of nose to tail, lots of guys bumping and banging. Like I say, as that track temperature drops, these guys, I think, are going to be able to run right along the bottom of that track for most of the night, even with the tires giving out under them.
Well, before we go any farther, tonight's race here for the American Motorsports Association, presented here tonight by Gladwell Lawn Care Service out of the Thomasville, North Carolina area. Hilton Craft and Design, established in 2017. Evidence-based mommy, going to go to your pole award winner here tonight for Wilger Vicky. Looks like a handful of drivers have started to grid here. We're going to take you through your top 10 starting lineup here with a lot of drivers here for this little short track. We'll take you through your top 10. So the evidence-based pole award going to go to the number 30 here tonight of Wilger Vicky. Starting in that second spot, though, going to be the 61 there of James Milbacher. Starting third, going to be the 34 here of Mike Rhino. And the new guy here, Adam Jocelyn, going to start there in your fourth starting spot. Fifth, going to go to the 24 here of Ryan Blankhard. And then it's going to be Charlie Bates starting there in sixth. Austin Ty going to start the 09 there in your seventh spot with Patrick Thomas there in eighth. Ninth going to go to the 51 here of Donna Ricari. And then the 10th spot going to go to Jeffrey Johnson in the 36. Rest of your starting lineup going to scroll across the bottom as they start to roll off. So 2 quick pace laps to get some heat in the tires, heat in the motor here tonight before we let them loose. 150 laps tonight. Going to be the distance for the AMA Super Late Model Series. Going to see who can come out on top here with just a handful of races left in the season. As your starting lineup has finished scrolling, it looks like the pace car is down and away, and the early green flag here for Wilger Vicky in that number 30 as he has the inside lane, but it looks like an early jump there into the lead for the 61. Wilger Vicky really starts to fight back on that inside lane. Wilger Vicky will lead lap number 1. James Milbacher, though, barely able to squeeze in front of the 30. Oh boy, it looks like we might have a car around here in the early going.
I was real quick, guys, getting stacked up, trying to find that bottom lane. Like we were talking earlier, that bottom lane for everybody's going to want to be. So everybody's fighting to get down there real quick.
Well, let's see it involve the 34 here of Mike Rhino. Let's see if we're able to go back here on a replay and see exactly who was all involved in that. We see the 61 there try and find a home for himself, as he was able to find a home, and then everybody else got stacked up behind that Mike Rhino involved in that incident. See if we can go back overhead and find out who exactly was all wrapped up into that one. Well, not finding any other car there. Looks like a little contact under caution. Once the caution is finally thrown, a couple guys getting stacked up together. But Wilger Vicky is your leader here after 4 laps. That's something you kind of have to pay attention to here once we hit these smaller ovals like tonight. Just being stacked up on the restart. couple of these guys not able to find a home. They want to get to the bottom of the track as soon as they can, and they don't really want to wait for a hole, so they kind of throw it down there hoping the guy behind them is going to give them the room, and unfortunately you saw there for the first yellow here tonight, just not a home there.
Yeah, it's real rough on those guys on the outside. You're just watching that bottom line go by you, counting off the places you're giving up, and like you said, just throwing it in there hoping somebody will make some room for you so you can make that loss as minimal as possible.
So a 2x2 restart here. Wildricki will start to the inside. James Milbacher will start right once again to the outside in that 61 machine. Pace car should duck in this time by. There goes the pace car. Wildricki back to the loud pedal early. He's going to take the green flag, and he's going to clear that 61 there of James. But how about that 24 there? Here comes Ryan to the inside. He makes a little contact with Wildricki. He went down to the apron to try and make that pass. They're just about 3 wide behind them. 3 wide battle back there for the 6th position on back.
These guys taking some big risks early on, trying to make something happen. It's a little bit crazy to be going at it that hard this early, but like we were talking about, you got to get a spot down there in the bottom or you're going to be dropping to the tail end.
Yeah, talk about taking the spot real early. Wildricki has that top spot right now. Ryan in the 24 is still holding on to that 2nd spot. Milbacher, though, in the 3rd spot, and then from there on back, it's just a kind of gaggle of cars here, seeing who can find what position here in the early going.
Got a good battle going between the 4 of Andrew Dummerville and 27 of Patrick Thomas as they're trading that spot back and forth each time past timing and scoring.
As it looks like we have a caution out on track here. It looks like Charlie Bates has gone around in the number 20 machine. Let's see if we can go back here and find out what happened to Charlie Bates as he ran right behind the 77 here of K.R. Stolfus in that 14th position. Let's see what happened with Charlie. Looks like Charlie got a little piece of the outside wall. It actually looks like he has an open modified he's driving out there tonight. Let's see. Oh, it looks like possibly a wheel malfunction. He just goes straight up the track, stops, and the yellow flag is brought out here on lap number 14 of the 150 scheduled here tonight. So another early caution here for these gentlemen. The racing we have seen, though, Danny, tonight, been pretty exciting.
Oh, it's been way exciting. I was not expecting to see people going 3 wide, especially not this early in the race. This track is definitely not someplace that lends it to that, but they're looking like they're making it work out there.
A lot of guys used to running here at Lanier, you know, more or less in the Legends cars, and tonight we're going to bring out the super late models here. It's an open setup for these guys, so it's bring your own setup to the racetrack, and right now Wildricki has the hot setup in the early going. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, though, no tire change available here tonight for the guys who have taken the grid. It looks like 15 cars on the track here out of the 36 that had joined into the lobby. It looks like Charlie Bates, though, in that number 20 machine, going to take it to the house tonight. He's going to park that number 20 machine, so he'll be slotted with the 16th position here. Mike Rhino is the last car here on the lead lap running in your 15th spot. Looks like the lights on the pace car will go out. We're going to double them up once again. Wildricki here is going to have the inside lane. Ryan in that 24 machine going to be slotted to the outside. Going to see if Ryan has anything here on this restart to try and battle to the outside as the sky is starting to darken a little bit. The nighttime is coming. The green flag's out once again. Wildricki back to the loud pedal here down into turn number 1 as they go 2 by 2 as far as you can see. Wildricki still running side by side. You see right out in front of them, though, is Mike Rhino as another caution flag being thrown out here. It looks like the 19 of Cade Green going to go around in that machine. It's going to bring out our 3rd caution here in the early going for this event. 150 laps. These guys got to work themselves in. Right now, with a lot of the new drivers, kind of hard to do. Cade Green, one of the mainstays here for the AMA boys. And let's go back here on this replay and see who and where Cade Green got a little out of shape. Oh, it looks like the battle kind of happened in front of him. Cade Green went to hit the brakes, and around that number 19 machine went. Let's see if we can back it up just a little bit and go from a little bit over top here. You see it's going to happen right in front of him with that number 4 machine of Doomerville. He gets a little bit of Benjamin Walsh there, and they go around as Benjamin carries on in that number 9 machine. So just a chain reaction there from a couple of drivers, and it's going to bring out our third yellow here of the evening. Will Dravicki still finds himself out front here after 20 laps.
He's got to be happy he's sitting up there in the front, not having to deal with all this chaos going on behind him. But each time they line him back up, that's just another opportunity for Ryan sitting to his outside to try and make something happen, or even that guy sitting in third place, James Milbacher, to try and get to the inside and make something happen from back there.
Yeah, we know the 61 here, James Milbacher, is a quick driver himself. We saw him have a really quick time in practice and qualify, obviously, towards the front of this field here tonight, and still finds himself running in that third position. The question is, when and where will he pounce on to your leaders here tonight?
We saw earlier that apron's the spot that people can seem to make it work a little bit. Probably not very many laps in a row, but definitely a place to try and make a pass, so something to be watching for.
Yeah, 22 laps in the books here. We're going to go back green flag racing actually on lap 24. The lights on the pace car are off as there goes the pace car, and right there goes Will Dravicki back to the loud pedal once again. Ryan going to get a good start there on the outside, and so does James Milbacher to the inside as he's right on the back bumper of that number 30 machine.
Yeah, everybody's staying pretty 2 by 2, you know, not anybody able to work in the bottom row, not giving any space to the top row to come down.
Yeah, it looks like Will Dravicki now is clear of the outside lane, and now here comes James Milbacher. He's trying to clear himself. He's going to clear the 24 coming out of turn 4, so now we're going to go single file for your first 2 machines. Looks like that 24 machine wasn't quite clear, and that's going to allow Adam Jocelyn to get around him. So it looks like the 24 here of Ryan going to lose a ton of positions as he is stuck to the outside lane.
Big wiggle out of that number 9 of Benjamin Walsh behind him. Going to give him room to slide down into that preferred lane.
Looks like a lot of guys have gone single file here in the early going. They want to just log a couple laps here. You have to go all the way back here to the 10th position before you see a little bit of a battle on track. The 77 here, K.R. Stolfus, was battling with Mike Rhino, who had elected to come down pit road. It wasn't able to put tires on the 34 machine, but was able to come down and get a little bit of adjustments made to that car as he's all over the back of the 77. But let's go back up front here with Will Dravicki, who has pulled about a half-second lead over James Milbacher. Milbacher has Jocelyn all over the back bumper of that 61 machine.
Them both running slightly different lines through the corner. Not sure if that's a setup thing or if that's a preference, but it's keeping him right there on that bumper, giving him an opportunity to take anything he can get.
Yeah, right now Milbacher has the position. Jocelyn really wants it. Looks like Jocelyn in that 83 machine has been into the outside wall a time or two already tonight. Just trying to, at this point, kind of get a couple laps under his belt to see what he can do. As he's staying towards the front, as you see sparks flying off that 61 machine as he came off the corner there down the straightaway on turn 2. Laps are clicking away real fast here, working lap number 33 already of the 150 schedule.
Mike Rhino trying to work his way through the field, pushing his way up there, fighting now with that 51 of Donna Raucci. They've been going at it for a couple laps here, trying to, nobody seems to be able to clear the other one to make something stick completely.
Yeah, the outside lane, though, here from Mike Rhino, looking like it might prevail as it does there. They see Donna get a little loose, and she had to back out of the throttle. As I think we're having a little incident back here. Cade Green involved. Donna also involved in that 51 machine. A caution going to fly here on lap 36 as there goes your leaders to the inside of that pile up. I believe the 36 also Jeffrey Johnson involved in that one. Let's see if we can go back here on a replay and find out what happened between those drivers. They were battling back here for about the 10th and 11th position. Looks like the 51 there. We saw her get a little bit loose. Oh, the 36 to Jeffrey Johnson tried to stick his nose to the inside. Cade Green with nowhere to go in that number 19 to the outside gets wrapped up into that one.
The way these short tracks run, some little hiccup in turn 1 can lead to a big pile up in turn 2 or 3. You know, it just stacks everybody up real quick. There's nowhere for anybody to go to get away from the chaos that's going on in front of them.
Yeah, that's your typical Saturday night, or in this case, Friday night racing here for the AMA's Super Late Model Series. A lot of these drivers not used to driving with each other. As you see the 51 make the left-hand turn, going to go down there onto pit road. Coming across the comms here, the 77 at KR Solfus has an early exit here tonight from Lanier National. So it looks like the 77 at KR Solfus is going to be credited with a 14th place finish here. Looks like Andrew Dumerville also taking it to the house as he's going to go 15th tonight. So it looks like we got 13 drivers still out there on track. The 13th place driver right now, Cade Green, who found himself wrapped up in that yellow flag. So in the early going, a lot of hectic driving out there, Danny, but also some really good driving towards the front of this with Will Javicki and James Milbacher.
Yeah, we've seen them kind of going at it back and forth without getting into each other too bad, which is pretty impressive for some place this small.
So the lights on the pace car are off. We're just going to wait for that iRacing Mustang to make the left-hand turn off the racing surface here, as there it goes, and green flag's back out. Will Javicki going to hold him back just a little bit, and that's going to allow James Milbacher to get a great start there on the outside.
Way different start than we've been seeing out of him. You know, maybe changing it up, trying something a little different to throw James off on the outside lane there.
Yeah, so it looks like Will Javicki, they're going to prevail on that inside lane there. 09 Motorsports driver as, a crossover move here by Milbacher. Going to go take it to the inside. Can Will Javicki come off turn 4 with a head of steam? It looks like Javicki going to hold him off there at the line. So Will Javicki has still led all but one lap here in this event. A little bit of a battle back here for that 8th position. Oh, contact between the 36 there. Jeffrey and Ryan in the 24. It got Ryan all sorts of out of shape, but he was able to gather up that 24 machine, so we're going to say green flag racing here on lap 44.
Ryan will be working to try and get to that bottom line, or he's just going to keep giving those spots as Mike Rhino's working his way past him now at this point.
Yeah, Rhino bringing that 34 machine with the Ford logo on the side of that, trying to work his way back to the front. Had a good qualifying attempt, then had to come down pit road after an early incident, and now is just trying to work his way back through the field here tonight. As it looks like the 35 right in front of him has left go of the motor. He's going to stop there. He tows back to the pits, so we're not going to fall under the yellow flag here. We're going to say green flag racing here on lap 47, but that's going to knock him out of contention. That's going to be the 35 there, Felix Gratton. Oh, Will Javicki still holding about a half-second lead, probably a 4-car length lead right now over that man right there, the 61 of James Milbacher, and all over the rear end of Milbacher going to be that 83 there of Adam Jocelyn.
Javicki seems like he pulls out about that half-second lead and then just rides it right there. Doesn't push the car any further. You know, with 150 laps to do on one set of tires, that's about what you got to do. You know, make that distance to where you're comfortable running and then hold it there and not overdrive the car.
Yeah, another yellow flag out. It looks like that's going to involve the 36 here. Jeffrey Johnson going around. He was running inside the top 10 at the time. Let's go back here and see if we can find out what happened to Jeffrey. Jeffrey was battling with the 34 here on Mike Rhino. Rhino runs in the 9th position at the time here. Looks like Jeffrey just got out of shape, and then around he goes. Maybe slight contact with the front end of the 34 of Mike Rhino, but that's going to take Jeffrey into the garage here tonight. Well, it looks like the 19 here, Cade Green, going to get his lap back, so that's going to put him back onto the lead lap. So it's good to see Cade back on the lead lap here to try and battle it out here. 53 laps in the book here tonight, and that man out front, the number 30 here, Will Jervicki, has led all but one lap here, as James Milbacher was able to go side by side with him one time off turn number 4, and that gave him one lap led here tonight.
That crossover we saw from Milbacher, I think that's about what you're going to have to do, is get that set up and hurry and get your nose in there coming down that stretch so that you're already ready to go coming into the corner. You know, Jervicki gets down there and protects that inside real well, and that outside lane just is not going to work for Milbacher.
This track reminds me a lot of the old Bristol Motor Speedway, how they had to protect the inside lane before they ground down the top and were able to allow those guys to run around the top. It's just that short track style racing here. It's protect the inside lane at all costs, except, you know as well as I do, Danny, as racers ourselves, you protect that inside lane too much. If the guy behind you is a little bit quicker one time, sooner or later, he might get a little fed up with you.
He might let you know he's back there, and there's pretty much only one way he's going to be able to do that, and that's with the front end of his car. But, so far it's been real clean racing between the two. We still got plenty of time for him to make something happen. At this point, he can almost kind of ride and wait for Will to make some little mistake. As Will Jervicki takes us back to the green flag quickly and pulls out ahead of James Milbacher, not messing around this time, making sure he gets that line that he wants. Everybody seems to be lining out. The 9 pushes up hard.
Yeah, a little bit of contact that time through turn number 4 there with the number 9 of Welsh, and I believe that was the 24 there of Ryan, who's been sort of a pinball tonight. Things not going his way here in the early going, because now he's fallen all the way back to the 7th position as he runs side by side here with the 27 of Patrick Thomas. Thomas onto the outside, still trying to make it work. Ryan going to look to the inside here on the 09 machine, not going to be able to make it work as contact between the 9 and the 09.
That rough racing, that's something we're used to seeing at these short tracks, but there not being much room. Guys get into each other a little bit and try and hurry to get back to where they were at, and that space is still a little bit occupied.
And as that went on there on track, that allowed, it looks like the number 34 here, Mike Rhino, with a little bit of right front damage, get to the outside here on Patrick Thomas. That's the battle for the 7th and the 8th position. Rhino to the outside, Patrick to the inside, and Rhino just not able to rebound after that early entry down to pit road.
No, it seems like he's just kind of been in the wrong place, wrong time, not quite able to work his way around people, deal with the traffic that's been around him. See him battling there, stuck to the outside of that 27 of Patrick Thomas, just trying to make something work. Looks like that 9 of Benjamin Walsh slowing things up a little bit, but not enough for him to actually complete that pass.
Yeah, Rhino not able to use the number 9 as a pick right now. Not close enough. You see the brake rotors really starting to glow here on the front of these. Let's go back up front real quick here and check out where Will Jervicki is. He's a little bit of a lead right now over that 61 of Milbacher.
Milbacher's sitting a little bit closer than we've seen him throughout this race, only sitting about 0.3 off the back of Will Jervicki this time by. Maybe he's starting to push that car a little bit, getting things set up, ready to make a move.
It's still a long way here tonight to try and figure out if he's going to be able to work his way around that man out front. Just a handful of, not quite halfway is what I'm actually going for here.
No, we're getting there though. These guys are got things lined out now, and it looks like they're able to start clicking laps off.
Yeah, the 3 cars out front, Jervicki, Milbacher, and Jocelyn, have now pulled about a 3-second gap over these two back here, battling it out for the 4th spot. That's going to be the 09 there of Alston there in that white and blue machine out into the 4th spot. And Ryan still trying to come back in the 24 car to see if he can get back up to the front. It seems like he has a fast car, just kind of been beaten and banged around a little bit here tonight.
Further back in the field, Mike Rhino finally gets to that inside line, starting to work his way past the 27, Patrick Thomas. That 9 car still hanging things up a little bit, but the 27 gets a good bump coming through that corner. Puts Mike Rhino back to the outside. Looks like he's got a little bit better run this time by, though.
Yeah, Rhino and Thomas back here have been putting on one heck of a show. It's back here a little bit into the field here with the 7th, 8th in position. It looks like there, though, Thomas is going to take it, but Rhino not going to go away quietly. He's going to try and jump back to the outside here. Gets squeezed a little bit off turn number 4. There goes single file, though, for that position. Cade Green just kind of riding it out back here, trying to weather the storm. Out front, Will Dravicki has pulled about a half second over James Milbacher for the lead here tonight. Adam Jocelyn holding on there to that 3rd spot still.
'24 Ryan Blanchard all over the back of that 09 Austin Thiel car. Just been stalking him for the last few laps here, trying to make something happen. Looks like each time coming off the corner, he's looking to that inside, trying to see if there's a little bit more of a run we can get. Its caution flag comes out.
Yeah, it looks like that 27 of Patrick Thomas, who is battling real hard with the 34 there. Mike Rhino has gone around here on lap 78. Let's see if we can go back and find exactly what happened here to the 27 of Thomas. Thomas was still battling with Mike Rhino. Oh, it looks like maybe a little shot to the back bumper there from Rhino, and around the 27 is going to go. Let's see if we can back it up just a little bit farther here and go on board with the 34 of Mike Rhino. Looks like Mike Rhino got back to the throttle a little bit sooner there than the 27 of Thomas, and he tried to check up just a little bit, and unfortunately with the short track, you know, not a lot of room, not a lot of give and take. Mike Rhino going to make contact with the rear bumper of the 27 of Thomas, and Thomas going to go around for a little bit of a spin. So it looks like the 19 of Cade Green going to bring down that machine, see if he can get a little bit of service done to that 19. Cade Green came in tonight running 4th in your championship standings, only 39 points back behind Fred Monroe, who's not here tonight in attendance. So any lap that he makes here to continue and gain positions will help him into this points championship run. Looks like actually none of the top 3, as Russell Brown Jr., I did see him along with Donald Clark out here tonight, but it doesn't look like they're still left out here running on track.
Yeah, at this point, Cade's got to be playing a points game. You know, just try and pick up as many points as you can get, close that gap so that coming towards the last couple races, you're in a position to make something happen.
And with the green flag dropping there, Will Dravicki going to get another great start here on James Milbacher. He's going to take the lead. And then Mike Rhino actually up there into your 4th position for momentarily. It looks like Austin Taylor going to take the 09 there and go to the 3rd position. Adam Jocelyn going to follow him through there. And so Mike Rhino stuck onto the outside here after the green flag is dropped.
We've seen him be pretty successful, at least maintaining that position, not dropping back like we've seen some other guys do. Interesting to see that he's able to do that. Maybe just running slightly different setup enough to make it so that that line works for him.
So it looks like Rhino, though, going to find a home there in your 6th position. Right now, still 10 drivers left out here on track. Working lap 87 here as Will Dravicki comes across the stripe. He's going to lead his 86th lap out front of this one.
Looks like everybody's pretty well just lined out now, turning laps, making note of what the guy in front of them is doing, trying to see when it is that they're going to be able to make a pass.
Yeah, working lap 90, so 60 laps here left in this event. It just kind of seems like James Milbacher back here in the 61 running second right now, kind of just stalking that number 30 hero, Will Dravicki, letting him get out in front. We did talk to Will Dravicki before the event here tonight, and he said he had a really good setup here. He ran a couple of the open races, and right now it still shows that he has a great setup as he runs P1 on the board here. But James Milbacher is, like I said, still back there, just stalking the back of the number 30.
Yeah, there's still time left in this race for him to get back there and make something happen. Just, you know, take notes, see what the guy in front of you is doing, and adjust.
Yeah, there you see the number 63 there. Bill Cooley going to get out of the way of your leaders. He's going to take it to the high side in that 63 machine. A little bit off the pace. Finds himself right now running 10th, 2 laps down to your leaders. Still looks like about a 3-4 car gap back from Will Dravicki to the front bumper there of the number 61 of Milbacher. Austin back here in the 09 just kind of having a quiet night, has slowly worked his way through the field here tonight. Started around about the 12th position and now has worked himself up into the 3rd spot here. Adam Jocelyn just starting to lose a little bit of ground to him as he runs in that 4th spot.
That 09 car looks like it's been bounced around quite a bit out here tonight. But, you know, with this being such a short track, that little bit of body damage, that's not going to slow him down. The arrow's not going to come into play here too much.
Yeah, 3.8 tenths of a mile. No aero package really going to... You could just take all the body panels off this car here tonight, and Jocelyn would just be just as quick as he is right now. You're not going to see that play any kind of factor tonight. You might see it kind of push a little bit into the corner, but nothing that you're really going to have to worry about here. There you saw on camera, Mike Rhino still trying to find his way back to the front. Made a little bit of contact with the outside wall there in that number 34.
Looking around the track, it seems like almost everyone's been up into that outside wall at least once. About the only clean cars looking like Will Dravicki in the 30 and the 61 of James Milbacher. About the only two that have stayed off that wall.
Yeah, you talk about clean cars. That number 30 out front, who's led over 100 laps here, the opening 104 laps, a really clean car. And then you look back at Milbacher, like you were saying, maybe just a slight little right front rub to the outside wall, but still a really clean car. And he's practically matching Will Dravicki for these laps. Last time by for Will Dravicki was a 13.303. Milbacher's time was a 13.33, so, you know, not much of a difference. There's a little contact there with the turn 4 exit wall for Milbacher in the 61, so he's going to add a little more damage. Maybe that'll help him out. Maybe that's what he needs, is a little more scrape going down the backstretch.
A little weight reduction, get rid of some of that extra sheet metal.
I mean, I'm not sure, but I don't think there's really too much on these super late models here to kind of weight reduction. It's already just, you know, a little bit of sheet metal, nothing behind it. Will Dravicki, though, qualified on pole here tonight and has led 107 laps here out of the 108 that have been completed, working lap 109 or the 150 from this little track. He really does seem, we've said it numerous times now about his setup here for the 09 Motorsports driver, and he finds himself still out front. As I mean, it only takes 13 seconds, Danny, to get around this track, and I mean, you blink and you look away for a moment and they've already completed another lap here because we're coming to complete lap 110.
Getting towards the end here, it's time to start pushing that car. No point in saving tires anymore. Just push that car to the end and make sure you got all the places you can get.
Yeah, we talked about how James Milbacher was right behind Will Dravicki, kind of shadowing him until he got into that outside wall. Now the gap has started to grow a little bit. Will Dravicki started to try and drive away from that second place driver here of Milbacher. Oh, Milbacher slides up in front of that lap car there of the 63 of Cooley. He just barely cleared him coming up the track there, but it's about a second gap now between your first and second place runners.
Watch Will Dravicki, he's catching up to the tail end of this field. It'll making his way through lap traffic. That could give James an opportunity to get caught back up and put himself back in the fight.
Yeah, as you talk about James with the third place guy back here, this 09 of Austin, like we said before, just kind of slowly having a good solid night here inside the top three, and he finds himself 2.5 seconds back. So once we hit these lap cars here, it could start to reel him back in if your leaders have a little bit of a, oh, and we got a caution flag out there on track. It looks like Cade Green going to go around here with the number 9 of Benjamin Walsh. So 2 cars tangled up here right in front of your leaders on lap 116. Let's go back here and see exactly if we can find what happened between these 2 drivers. It looks like Walsh is out in front of Cade Green here on the timing and scoring. Oh, it looks like, oh, maybe a little bit of net code involved in this one. And then both drivers coming to a stop here on the front stretch. That's going to bring out our 4th caution here of the evening, as both drivers are actually able to carry on and get the cars pointed in the right direction. So just I'm going to say a harmless spin for the number 9 here of Welsh, as he's able to carry on. Both drivers, though, slotted 2 laps down after that one.
You know, a harmless spin for them, but that 61 car just got real big in the mirror for Will Dravicki.
Yeah, Will Dravicki, who had opened up a second lead over Milbacher, now is going to be, you know, crumble it up, throw it away, because he's going to be right side by side with him once we go back green flag racing here. Looks like we should go back probably green flag racing with just over 25 laps to go in this event here tonight. Let's take a quick look once again at our pre-race facts. Let's see where the track temperature is. It's still hovering right around the 86-degree mark for the track temp. Air temp has dropped 1 degree, so that's going to allow the track temp as the night goes on possibly to cool even more. Before we see the end of the race here tonight, we probably should see that track temp into the low 80s. Well, it looks like the lights on the pace car are going to go out early here. Thought we were going to have just about 1 more lap here under caution flagged conditions, but the lights on the pace car are going to go out top 5. We're at the top of the screen there. We're going to go back racing here. Will Dravicki still going to lead us here to green. Looks like we still have 10 drivers out here running, and then Will Dravicki going to take that green flag and try and run away here in the early going. Will Dravicki had a great start over James Milbacher. The battle, though, here comes that 24 machine. He's been to the front, to the back, and back again here, trying to come right around the 09 to the outside.
And real tight low on that number 9 or 09 car. Not able to quite make it this time, and just fighting to not drop another position.
Yeah, you saw him push real hard that time off into her number 4. Tried to get to the outside. Oh, contact! The lap car, the 63 there, real slow for Bill Cooley. Gonna have to go back here on the replay and see exactly what happened, because that's not something you normally see. As you talk about normally don't see. You saw the pace car come through the infield wall there. Let's go back here on the replay and see exactly, as these guys were battling up towards the front here and the lap car coming out onto track. Will Dravicki just barely misses the lap car, and then unfortunately the 09 plows right to the back of him. That's what's going to bring out the caution, and it just kind of scatters the whole entire field behind him. We're going to step away for just a moment, and then we'll bring you the final few laps here for the AMA Super Late Model Series here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Welcome back here to the Full Velocity Racing Network. The AMA Super Late Model Series here from Lanier National. Closing in on the end of this one, 150 laps scheduled here tonight. Looks like we're going to get the one to go here. Will Dravicki in that number 30 machine has been out front here for 127 laps. James Milbacher did edge him out at one point to lead one lap here tonight. Let's see when we go back, green flag racing here, if Will Dravicki's going to be able to hold, and there's not quite bunched up there, but Will Dravicki's going to jump on the loud pedal. He'll get a great start. Looks like James Milbacher, though, going to lose that second position as he's going to try and cross over the 09 and take his second spot back. It looks like a little bit of trouble there for Austin in the 09 as he went way high there coming through the corner. He's going to lose a ton of positions. That's going to drop him all the way back to the 6th running position, so he goes from 2nd all the way back to 6th. A little bit of a battle here brewing between the 83 here of Jocelyn and the number 34 of Rhino as they battle for the 4th and 5th position here. Under 20 to go, 19 to go. It's going to be 18 to go this time at the line.
That 34 and 83 battling, bringing the 09 right into the picture. Give him an opportunity to grab some of those places back. Well, those guys straighten things out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for the 09 of Austin as he dropped a ton of positions outside the top 5. Now looking in at the back bumper of the 34 who holds down that 5th and final top 5 position. As it looks like right now Benjamin Walsh has that 9 machine actually on pit road, so we'll see if he's able to carry on and continue as Patrick Thomas also down there. Will Dravicki, though, right now has about a .83 second lead over James Milbacher. 15 laps to go here from Lanier National.
Ryan Blanchard all over the back of that Milbacher car. Maybe pushing him a little bit hard, trying to make something happen, get by him. You know, he's sitting right there just mirroring everything that he sees in front of him.
And as those two battle right in front of him, Jocelyn's starting to close that gap. He's about 1.5 car lengths back off the back bumper there with the 24 machine closing in. It looks like we've got 13 laps to go. Laps are going to wind down and tick off real quick here. If you get anything left here on the tires, now is the time to use them. Milbacher, Blanchard, or Jocelyn back here for your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. Throw them under a blanket, shake it up into a jar, and see which number you pull out, because that's how this one's going to end here for these guys. As it looks like possibly something gone wrong on the 83 there of Jocelyn as he goes around in turn number 1. No caution is brought out, so we're going to stay green flag racing here. That's exactly what Will Dravicki wanted to see, is no caution brought out because he didn't want to have to try and do another restart here with James Milbacher. So right now, Will Dravicki still holds a 1.1 second lead over Milbacher. Blanchard back there in the 24 machine right there on the back bumper of Milbacher. So the top 3 has not changed, but that's going to move Rhino up there to your 4th spot, and the 09 now takes over that 5th spot, the last car running on your lead lap.
That 24 car just staying all over the bumper of James Milbacher, not letting him make any mistakes without probably making him give up that spot if he can make something happen there.
6 laps to go. If there's anything left in that 24 machine, he's going to have to start to pounce on the 61. And we're at that no return mark right now here on iRacing. If a caution would come out, we're not going to see another green flag restart. So it's all or nothing here for the 24 of Blanchard.
Seen him run a couple different lines for the last couple of corners, maybe looking for a little more grip, something to give him that little bit of edge to make that pass happen.
As we're going to come through turns 3 and 4 here, we're going to get the 3 to go marker for Wilger-Vicky. Can Wilger-Vicky finish this one off here tonight? He's already led 146 laps here, the 150 scheduled as he comes down the backstretch once again. Once he comes off the corner, he's going to see the 2 to go marker. If he looks up at the flag stand, 2 to go this time by for Wilger-Vicky. Check back here on this battle real quick between the 61 and the 24 for that second position. Ryan not able to stick his nose for the 24 down to the inside on the 61, but Wilger-Vicky going to see the 1 to go marker here from Lanier. Just needs to make a couple more corners here, and he will walk away being the winner here for the AMA Super Late Model Series as Wilger-Vicky going to come off turn number 4. He's going to see the checkered flag in hand. Wilger-Vicky going to win another one here on your Friday night series. It looks like Milbacher going to be able to hold off the 24 machine. He'll go P2, and the 24 going to come home in your third and final spot in your top 3. Ticker results going to scroll across the top here. Congratulations, though, once again to Wilger-Vicky, not only walking away with the evidence-based Mommy Pole Award win tonight, also coming away with your win. Congratulations to the driver of the 30, Wilger-Vicky, for the win tonight. We're going to step away for just a moment, see if we can get a word in with a couple of these drivers and bring you the post-race interviews right here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lanier National Speedway. 150 laps here tonight for the American Motorsports Association, the Super Late Model Series right here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, a division of Race on Texas. We have your post-race interviews with a couple of these guys, but first off, we got to congratulate Wilger-Vicky once again here tonight. Danny, I believe you did catch up, though, with your third-place finisher here tonight.
I did. I caught up with Ryan Blanchard, brought it home third place tonight, started 5th. Ryan, how was the track out there tonight?
No, it was really good. Everyone raced me clean except for the back half of the pack, but James, Will, and them guys raced me clean, Adam, and I couldn't be thankful enough for how good they raced me tonight.
Did you feel the track changing much, or was it pretty much the same thing all night long, or?
No, I started out loose, and then as the nighttime approached, I got a little tighter, and my teammates were complaining about the same thing as the race went on.
Obviously, something you're able to work with and overcome is you're able to pick up a couple extra spots and get yourself up here into the third place for the finish tonight. So each week you come out here, you see these short tracks. Short tracks, big tracks, what's your favorite out here?
I like the short tracks because it's more bumper to bumper, and you get a lot of good racing here.
Well, it looks like the short track played in your favor tonight as you brought that car home in third. Anybody you need to thank? Anyone that helps you get that car out on track?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dixon Cider Co., Patriot Media and Marketing, Splash and Go Graphics, and Late Model Esports for coming out tonight and supporting me.
Well, once again, congratulations on that third place finish tonight. Roger, were you able to catch up with one of our guys?
I was able to catch up with the guy who comes home second here tonight, the 61 of James Milbacher. James, it seemed like you had a really strong car out here tonight. A second-place finish, though, for yourself. What did you have left in the tank? Did you think you could get back to the back bumper there of the 30 at the end?
I made a wrong adjustment before the race, and I spent most of the race fighting tight condition. Just I couldn't get it to rotate center off, and I don't think I had anything for him there at the end. I needed a really long green flag run to abuse the rear tires a little bit more.
Yeah, you had a long green flag run towards the middle of this event. With all the cautions in the early going, were you able to feel the car out? We heard there, Ryan said that towards the nighttime of this event here, his car kind of got tight. Is that what yours was all night long?
Yeah, I started off tight, and it just got worse and worse. I wanted to come down and make an adjustment like my teammates did, but I figured track position was king. I didn't feel like I'd be able to get back to where I was pitting, so I just hoped for a mistake from Will and something that would keep me close enough that I can make a move, but nothing happened. He drove a perfect race.
Yeah, he drove a perfect race. It looked like you maybe made two mistakes out there tonight as you got into the outside wall at one point. Did that damage kind of put any kind of damper on that right front of that 61 machine?
Nah, I know I bounced off it a couple times, but I don't think I ever hit it hard enough to knock the toe out or anything. It drove pretty much the same all race. It was just that same tight all the way through. I just had no drive off.
Well, second place finish though, not anything or nothing to really, kind of slouch about. A good run here tonight from Lanier. Is there anybody you got to thank though that helps that 61 machine get to the track week in and week out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammates back at Front Stretch Mafia for all the work they put in on the setups. Dixon Cider Company, Spotted Wilkes, and just everyone that helps me do what I do and bring fast race cars to the track.
Well, there you heard it from your second place finisher tonight, the 61 of James Milbacher, having a good run, just not enough time, not enough long green flag run to get back to the back bumper of Will Dravicki. Danny, I believe you did catch up, though, with the man here tonight that parked her in victory lane.
I did. I caught up with that number 30 machine, Will Dravicki. Will, congratulations. Leading 149 out of 150 laps tonight. How was it for you? Nobody to look at a bumper at all night long.
Oh, the captain's car service, Toyota Camry number 30 from 09 Motorsports was an absolute rocket ship tonight. I couldn't ask for a better car. I'm just wondering where KR fell off because I sent him the race-winning set and he kind of disappeared on me.
One of those guys you're out there helping, making sure that he gets out and has a good time too. That's always nice to hear from the drivers out here. We saw you throughout the race. It seemed like you'd pull to a lead and then kind of maintain that distance. Was that something you're doing intentionally, or was that just kind of the way things were working out?
Yeah, I was just riding, keeping the tires on it. If I could get a big enough gap from James, I would just kind of hold pace so that I didn't burn the tires off and didn't want to abuse the right rear and get wicked loose off the corners. I've been battling out with the front stretch boys all week. Well, actually all season this year over in the official races. So I know they always got a good piece under them and they're going to come after it. I'm just happy to get one over on James for once. He's usually getting the better of me lately.
Well, we've heard a couple of these guys talk about it being tight as the night went on. Was that the same thing you found?
No, I was ready for the night. My car was perfect. I was loose at the beginning in the daylight. It was all about surviving the daylight and getting to the night because I knew I had a rocket ship for a night race setup going.
That was the strategy. Come in, survive the first half, and then run away at the end. That looked like it worked for you pretty well tonight, for sure.
Yeah, no complaints, man. Always fun when you finish first. I think James snuck one of the laps led on me there. Already had all 150 there in a restart, but he was pretty good on the restarts all night. I was worried. He kept me honest all night, so wasn't a dominant performance, but definitely one that I'll remember.
It looked like an awesome race from up here in the booth. Anybody that helps you get that car out there on the track, anybody you need to say thanks to?
Yeah, first I gotta say thanks to my wife, and I hope she gets a speedy recovery. She just went under surgery today, and she's at home here sleeping on the couch. So, I just want to tell her I love her. I hope she gets better. Thank you for letting me race these races with you boys at night. I always got to thank the guys over at 09. They're always around, hanging out, helping me out. Guillaume Fortin over there, he's really been putting in some hours on these setups with me, and we've been getting them right. Paul Henley and Brent over there too. Got to thank Captain's Car Service for sponsoring the car. If you need luxury transportation anywhere in the world, Captain's is the place to call, man. We'll take care of you. Got to thank you guys up in the booth for broadcasting, even though, Roger and his wonderful personality is ducking me today. But, hey, what are you going to do, right?
He's a good guy. We'll keep him up here a little bit longer, I guess. But, hey, congratulations on that first-place finish tonight. It's great performance you put on out there. We appreciate you guys being out here on track, giving us something to watch.
Hey, thank you for putting it on so we can go back and watch. It's always fun to go back and watch the races. And, special shout out to Tyler. He puts in a lot of work on this, man, behind the scenes. So he doesn't get the credit he deserves. The AMA is a fun place to race, and appreciate all the work that he puts in.
Well, there you have it. The 30 of Will Dravicki putting it in the winner's circle tonight.
Yeah, Will Dravicki coming home tonight after leading 149 laps here out of the 150. We ducked Will Dravicki here tonight because he's parked the 30 in victory lane enough times. He's been in that winner's circle a number of times this year. But congratulations to the number 30 here, Will Dravicki. And, from all of us here at the Full Velocity Racing Network, we do wish Will Dravicki's wife a quick and speedy recovery, and we hope all is well there in the family. Danny, we saw a great race here from Lanier National. 3 guys in the top 3 here putting on excellent runs. Will Dravicki obviously running he said he didn't run away with it, but pretty much when you lead 149 laps out of the 150 laps scheduled, you can pretty much say he ran away with this one here tonight.
And argue with you on that one. These guys put on a great show.
Yeah, so Will Dravicki going to walk away with your win here tonight. James Milbacher going to come home second, and Ryan Blanchard going to finish off the podium here in P3. Once again, we thank all of you for tuning in here tonight to the Full Velocity Racing Network, a divisional race on Texas for Roger Muth, myself, and my co-host here tonight, Danny Valenzuela. We will catch you next week from the Bristol Motor Speedway here with the American Motorsports Super Late Model Series.